Hi, everyone. Welcome to today's session, all about MS Dynamics World, the leader in online lead generation for Dynamics ISVs since 2008. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Adam Berezin. I co-founded MS Dynamics World back in 2008, and my role at the company is creating all of our marketing and lead generation programs, as well as working directly with ISVs and partners. So today you're going to learn all about MS Dynamics World, also known as MSDW, the three major marketing challenges that ISVs face, how MSDW serves ISV marketers, a rundown of a few of our key lead generation offerings, and then you can feel free to submit questions. MSDW. So who exactly are we? So we are a publisher and a community. MSDW launched in January 2008 and was the very first dedicated news and information resource for the Dynamics channel and the very first dedicated online marketing platform for Dynamics ISVs. We launched MSDW because at the time, there wasn't any independent entity out there that was providing news and high-level strategic guidance for Dynamics professionals. There were really just a few forums out there, but those, as you know, are extremely technical. And we also found that there were very few marketing choices presented to ISVs in our space. ISVs could exhibit at trade shows, they could advertise in a few print magazines, or even try renting lists. So we wanted to create a platform for ISVs to consistently market themselves to their prospects and generate steady streams of hyper-targeted leads. And just to clarify, MSDW is not a list broker. We don't rent lists. We've never rented lists. We've never even used list rental companies to build up our member base. We're just not a fan of that whole business model. The MSDW community is comprised of over 75,000 Dynamics professionals who log into our site and consume content on a regular basis. They view videos, webcasts, articles, they download white papers and other types of content. The content that we create is specifically designed for senior level executives in the Dynamics channel. And in fact, more than 68% of our entire member base are senior level executives, people with purchasing power. And one of the great things about the content that we produce for the site is that 90% of all the content on MSDW has been exclusively produced for MSDW. You can't get it anywhere else. And the 10% of content on our site that is not exclusively developed for MSDW is really in the form of ISV videos, webcasts, white papers, case studies, product brochures, etc. So in addition to being a publisher and a community, MSDW is also the world's leading provider of online marketing and lead gen programs to Dynamics ISVs. More than 100 ISVs use our programs each year, and last year alone, those ISVs generated over 40,000 targeted leads from our programs, which is incredible. Many of our programs incorporate something we call the MSDW lead capture system, which we designed and built ourselves back in 2008, and I'll get into that in a little more detail in a few minutes. So my team and I have worked with Dynamics ISVs for over a decade. We've learned a lot, and during that time, we've actually found three major marketing challenges that many ISVs in our space face on a regular basis. So let's get into those. So the first is getting out of your marketing comfort zone. So getting out of a marketing comfort zone, I would say, is probably the biggest challenge faced by many ISVs in the Dynamics community. And the best way to get out of your marketing comfort zone is to diversify your marketing activities and investments. And the reason why it's so important to do this is because it will maximize your reach among your prospects and will result in more leads and more sales for your company. A perfect example of this is trade show sponsorship. There are many ISVs that don't do any marketing activities except sponsor trade shows, and by doing this, those companies are severely limiting their reach in the Dynamics channel because they're only getting exposure to people who travel to those trade shows. Nobody outside of the trade show world knows they even exist, and that's a problem. Even if you add up all the attendees from every Dynamics trade show, it only equals a small percentage of the total number of companies who actually use Dynamics, and those companies need ISV solutions too. And remember, almost everyone starts the solution research process by searching online. So if your prospects don't see you online, they'll connect with your competitors instead. Diversification is key. You need to diversify. Another challenge many ISVs face is tracking their cost per lead, or CPL. And if you don't track this, there's absolutely no way to know if the marketing activities you've invested in are paying off, and B, you won't even know which activities to stop doing and which activities you should be investing in more. Now, calculating your CPL is simple, but the reason why it's challenging for many ISVs to actually do this exercise is because there's a psychological element involved. Simply put, ignorance is bliss. If you decide to calculate your CPL, it could possibly tell a story that you don't like, and that means that you need to change and step out of your marketing comfort zone and try new things. So by not calculating it, those ISVs are not relying on actual data to support marketing decisions, which is bad. They're solely relying on their feelings and emotions. The third challenge that many ISVs face in our space is creating a good content lead gen strategy. And there are two types of ISVs that have this challenge. The first type is the ISV who has content but doesn't know what to do with it. And the second type is the ISV who knows they need content, but they just put off creating it. Everyone consumes content, so you need to have it. And more importantly, don't create content unless you know what you're going to do with it, because your money is just going to be wasted. Where will it be housed? How will you promote it? Which types of content should you create? Do you have a mechanism in place to capture the leads of people who download your content? All these things need to be answered when you're creating that content lead gen strategy. So now that we've talked about the top 3 marketing challenges faced by many ISVs in the Dynamics channel, let's talk about how MSDW serves ISV marketers. So the MSDW straightline marketing system. So we created a system based on 5 specific criteria that we call straightline marketing. Now, all of the marketing programs that MSDW developed were developed using these principles. Straightline marketing, I guess to put it bluntly, is the fastest, most efficient, and most direct way to connect with your prospects, and it's also the best way to maximize your marketing dollars. There are many different marketing activities that allow you to connect with your prospects. However, many of these don't offer a direct path of interaction and are therefore not considered to be straightline activities. Anything that is not a straightline activity requires more time and more money, and most likely results in a lower return on investment compared to straightline activities. So the 5 criteria for straightline marketing: in order for a marketing activity to be considered straightline, it must meet all 5 of these criteria. And as mentioned, MSDW built all of its programs around this set of criteria. When you look at various marketing investments, determining if those investments are straightline activities, all of these questions must be answered yes. Number 1, is the activity on the dynamic-specific marketing outlet? Number 2, can the program on this dynamic-specific marketing outlet target segments and subsegments of the Dynamics channel so you aren't paying to reach irrelevant prospects? Number 3, does this dynamic-specific marketing outlet have a mechanism to easily capture and distribute my leads? And number 4, is 100% of my investment going towards my target audience? Number 5, does increased investment in that dynamic-specific marketing outlet guarantee that I will generate more leads? So which activities are considered straight line? For any marketing activity to be considered straight line, as I just mentioned, it needs to meet all 5 of the set criteria. And as you can see, MSDW's programs all meet the standards of straight line marketing because they align with each of the criteria. Now, as an example, if you look at trade shows, they don't meet 2 of the most important straight line criteria. An increased investment in a trade show does not guarantee that you'll see an increased amount in leads. Just because, let's say, you choose to pay $35,000 to get a bigger booth this year or pay to send more staff to man the booths, it doesn't mean you'll see an increase in leads over the previous year. Because with trade shows, there are just too many variables. It could depend on how many attendees are at the show, how many of those attendees choose to visit the exhibit hall, how many of those attendees who choose to visit the exhibit hall actually go to your booth, and how many of your booth visitors are people who are actually interested in your solutions, not just in the swag. Whereas with MSDW, every additional program you do with us guarantees that you'll generate more and more leads. So as an example, if you do one webcast, you could get 80 leads. If you do a second webcast, you could get another 80 leads, and so on and so forth. So as I mentioned towards the beginning of the presentation, we built something called the MSDW Lead Portal, and I'll show you some examples of that in the next several slides. So in 2008, we built this, developed it ourselves. The MSDW Lead Portal is actually integrated directly into the site, and it's the backbone of many of our best performing lead gen programs. And what this portal does is it gives ISVs the ability to capture the data, business interests, and contact info of their prospects who consume their content. An ISV would log into MSDW, they'd click on the link to their vendor portal, then they'd be able to export all their leads. We can also connect the MSDW Lead Portal to any CRM or marketing automation system, which is awesome. So MSDW, we offer more than half a dozen marketing programs, but for the purpose of this presentation, I'm just going to highlight 5 of our offerings. Video promotion with lead capture, content promotion with lead capture, webcast promotion with lead capture, Dynamics lead generation essentials, and content creation services. Now, with all of our programs, we take a proactive marketing approach, and we use our vast amounts of site member data to ensure that each campaign an ISV runs with us is hyper-targeted to the audience they want to reach. We can target specific Dynamics product groups, users or partners, industries, and business focus areas. So when we promote an ISV and their content, it goes to the exact Dynamics audience they want to reach. No marketing dollars are wasted. So as an example, we could literally create an entire marketing campaign targeting GP users and distribution who have an interested EDI and are located in Scotland. That's how targeted we can get. And as I mentioned, it ensures that all the marketing dollars you invest with us only go towards reaching your target audience. So video promotion with lead capture. Videos are great, as we know. More and more Dynamics professionals are consuming video content at a much faster rate than ever before. And we've seen it really become the preferred content type for many Dynamics professionals. But there's a problem for ISVs who have videos. And the problem is a lack of visibility into who views them. YouTube, Vimeo, and other mainstream video platforms, for example, are good for a lot of things, but their biggest flaw is the lack of visibility into your viewers, and you need that. Otherwise, it's really impossible to know if your videos are paying off, and you don't know if the right people are watching them and who they are. The good news is that MSDW has solved that problem. So after 6 months of development and testing, we launched the very first video platform with built-in lead collection in January of this year. So this platform not only lets you post all of your videos to MSDW, but it provides you with the data and contact information of prospects who view your videos. Since January 2019, ISVs participating in video promotion with lead capture have generated and captured over 5,000 leads, which is incredible and clearly shows the demand our site members have for videos. Now here's a view of the MSDW video lead portal. So when you participate in the program, you get access to your own lead portal on MSDW, which captures the detailed info of your prospects who view your videos. You can download all of your leads to an Excel spreadsheet. So the next program we're going to talk about is content promotion with lead capture. And content promotion with lead capture works similarly to our video program, but instead of capturing the leads from your videos, you're able to capture the leads from your posted content on MSDW. The program is simple and effective, and all you do is you post your content to MSDW, and that content can include white papers, ebooks, case studies, product brochures, even infographics. And each piece of content is then connected to the MSDW lead portal. You are then able to capture the data and contact info of your prospects who download your content on MSDW. You can download your leads to Excel, and we even have the ability to link the MSDW lead portal to your own CRM or marketing automation system, which is really cool because it pushes the leads into your own system in real time. We launched this program back in 2008, and actually in 2018, participating ISVs generated and captured more than 12,000 leads from this awesome program. So the next program we're going to talk about is webcast promotion with lead capture. We run about, I'd say, close to 200 sponsored webcasts annually. And last year, those webcasts attracted more than 15,000 registrants for those ISVs. Webcast promotion with lead capture is a great program, and it allows you to present an educational session to targeted groups of MSDW site members. We take care of all the logistical elements, including promotion and hosting, and we supply you with the contact information and data of all registrants and attendees. A neat thing that we added also is that after your webcast runs, we place the recorded session right into the MSDW video library and give you access to the lead portal to collect the on-demand leads for 1 month after your session airs. Oops, I got skipped ahead. Excuse me. So the next program we're going to talk about is Dynamics Lead Generation Essentials. And Dynamics Lead Generation Essentials, I would say, is the perfect starter program for ISVs who haven't yet worked with us. This program gives you a little bit of everything at an affordable rate. And with this program, you get webcasts, video leads, newsletter sponsorships, banner ads, content posting, and even podcast sponsorships. It's also a great program to complement your offline marketing activities. And one of the great things about this and our other programs is that they're really designed for any size ISV. So whether you have one marketing person or a team of marketing people at your company, this program will be highly effective. Here's a sample schedule that we actually put together for an ISV participating in the Dynamics Lead Generation Essentials program. So when an ISV signs up for the program, we work with them to create a schedule for all their program elements and their program execution. And we can tailor the schedule any way that they prefer. A good strategy, I would say, is to complement the activities with your offline activities, like a trade show sponsorship. And the last program we're going to get into today is our content creation services. Now, I would say that the problem with many content creation organizations is that they create the content and then that's it. They don't provide you with any direction or a plan to actually generate leads from the content that you just paid to have created. At MSDW, though, we not only offer a great content creation service to ISVs, but we also give you the mechanisms to take that content and generate lots of leads. By utilizing our content creation services, the neat thing is you get access to our staff, our professional writers and editors to create all this compelling content, when you can then use to generate leads through one of our programs. It's a fantastic service. All right, so now that we've run through a few of our offerings, let's just go over some key takeaways from this presentation. Number one, as we talked about, diversify your marketing activities. So for those of you who haven't worked with us, I really encourage you to try some of our programs out. Get out of your marketing comfort zone. Don't be afraid to try new marketing activities. Number two, make your marketing investments based on data, not perceptions or emotions. For example, if you've exhibited at a trade show for several years and you haven't seen a return, don't keep sponsoring because you feel you need to. If you're not generating a good cost per lead, then it's not worth it, and you should try other activities. And number three, look to use programs that offer you a direct path to interact with your prospects. An example is using a straightline marketing program. That means aligning yourself with an organization like MSDW who can offer you programs that reach your target audience with very little steps, or very few steps, and allows you to be proactive in connecting with them. So if you have any questions, please feel free to email me directly. And I want to thank everybody for attending. I hope you found this informative and interesting.